In this video, I'm going to talk about how to create pages in Canvas using AI. And I'm going to focus on a home page, but you can do this for any page you want. So we're going to do a couple little technical elements, but also thinking about design and how you can make it unique and not just a generic AI page. So I'm going to start, I'm over here in Pages, and I'm going to add a page. And I'm just going to call this Home, okay? And this is where I would design the page, but I'm going to hold off on that for a minute. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to choose Save and Publish because otherwise I might forget to publish it. And then I'm going to come over on here and I'm going to put Use as Front Page. That means that I could have all kinds of pages here listed here. Of course, I only have one right now, but I could have all kinds. This one is set as a front page. However, that does not mean that is actually going to be the landing page when I go to home. Because when I go to home right now, it's going to modules. So I'm going to come over here from home and choose the home page because I could have assignment lists or syllabus or anything as my landing home page. And I'm going to change it right here to Pages Front Page and save that. All right, so now I've got my home page and I'm going to edit it. All right. And what I want to do is think about what do I want my home page to be like? Now, I could just jump into AI and just have it design something fast, but I want to collaborate with my AI. I don't want it to just do things for me because then it ends up with this generic stuff that is only for certain populations, what everyone does, and it's not as creative and interesting as I could do. So instead, I'm going to actually use Claude.ai because I like how it does some design things, but you could use ChatGPT or Gemini or anything. I'm going to delete that for a minute. I was there for a minute. And I'm going to start with thinking about, I want to think of what do I bring in as a human, and then the AI can help me with the code and some of the creation, and it can help me think of ideas. So I'm going to start with something like I am creating a home page for my first grade class. I want it. Now, what I do know right off that I want it to be easy for them to navigate, say, and have clear links to different subject areas, right? And be welcoming. Now, this is the important part. I'm not going to just ask it to create it. I'm going to say, help me think through what I need to make. I'm going to call it design decisions on step by step before we create it. Because otherwise, it's going to spend all this time creating a design that's going to be very generic. And instead, I want it to help me think through what could I think about to design a really good page. So it gives me a whole bunch of things. Now, this is very common. It asks me all these questions, which is kind of overwhelming to try to answer all the questions. So instead, I'm going to say, can we go through it one question at a time? All right. This way, I'm able to focus on each step and bring my human thinking and my knowledge of my students in while I go through. So what kind of visual style appeals? Do you think bright and colorful or playful, or cleaner or simpler? I think clean and simple is important because then it reduces what we call cognitive load, but still fun. And let's just say I use a Mario theme in my class because my daughter's first grade teacher does this and it is fantastic. So it could go along with that. Okay. And so it's going to think and then it's going to give me another. And this way, instead of just creating, I'm thinking through what do I want to do? How much Mario theming? So I want the colors and I don't want it for every subject area and I don't want a full background. And I want it more subtle than that, but I like the idea of the pipes and the question blocks. Oh, I just had an idea because of that. Maybe the links to some content areas like reading and math could be pipes. That would be really fun, right? So it actually gave me an idea because I'm thinking and using my human skills like, oh, that would be really interesting because it brought up the green pipes. And of course it loves because it always loves everything I do because it's trained that way. That works perfect. So which pipes, what should be pipes and what should be question blocks? And so I'm going to go through and I'm going to go back and I'm going to have a discussion on these few things. And I'm going to pause it while I do it, and then I'll come back and show you once I've created the code. Okay, so I went ahead and did some different things and it created this for me. Now, these don't really look like pipes and question marks. And so I see this and this is nice, but I don't really like that as much as I think I could. I'm going to make this smaller so you can see it better. So I can continue to edit here. So I want to say I want the subjects to really be like pipes and have 4 side by side. Okay, then, or whatever I want. And so we're going to see what it does when I select that. Okay, this is what I got. Okay, now I like this overall. I would probably go back and forth a few more times and refine it more if I was to use it. But I'm going to show you how to take this and move it to Canvas. So I'm going to go here and see the code. And I'm going to copy that code. Now I'm going to go back to my pages. And it's going to pull up my home page and I'm going to edit it. Within Canvas, you have what's called the Rich Content Editor, and then you can come over here to the code. And anything I do on the Rich Content Editor, like if I put a title and say hello, then I come over here, it's actually putting the code, and this H2 means the heading. So technically the Rich Content area is just creating the text that becomes coded. But I can also start in this coding, and I'm going to copy this whole code I created over here. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. I'm going to come over here and see. Ah, yes, I kind of expected this. Now you look here, it didn't follow all the styles I had set. That's very common in Canvas. So you don't have to do this, but I'm going to actually take a screenshot of this so that I can show Claude what I actually want, what happened and that didn't work. Okay, so I have the screenshot. I'm going to paste it into Claude and I said, it looks like this. Can you fix it? And I'm going to see whether it can fix it. I don't know if it's going to or not. I might have to go back a few times, or I might have to see this, move this over to Gemini or another LLM that might do a better job of figuring this out. The problem is that the way Canvas does this, it kind of embeds CSS a little bit differently than normal HTML. And so the code has to be a little bit different than most HTML. So we're going to see if it fixes it this time. Okay, I got a new code and copied it. We'll see. I'm not sure if it's going to work. I'm going to go to this code and select it all and paste it. Let's see if it did it. Oh, no. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to take this into Gemini because I know I've done it with Gemini. And I'm going to copy the code and go to Google's Gemini. And I'm going to do the same thing as I just did and say, I created this for Canvas, but it's not keeping the formatting. Can you fix it? So I'm going to actually paste the whole code in Gemini, and I'm going to put the screenshot in too, because I think that'll help understand what I mean. You can always put more information is good. And I'm going to select Canvas because it's going to add this side window that's going to help me. And I'm going to let that run for a minute. Okay, this is what Gemini gave me. And I actually do this fairly often because I like the ideas and designs in Claude, but the coding seems to be a little better in Gemini and sometimes ChatGPT. So you see up here and it says preview. I'm going to change it to code and I'm going to select all and copy it. Now we're going to see if that worked any better in our home page. So I'm going to come back to code here, select it all, delete, and paste it. Let's see how it worked. Ah, it's better, but it's not quite there, right? So I'm going to actually save this and I'm going to tell Google Gemini, where'd my save button go? I'm going to tell, I changed it. There it is. It's behind my microphone. Okay, I'm going to tell Gemini that it did this and see if it can fix it. Okay, so Gemini was able to identify what it thinks the problem is and a fix. So we still look the same here, but the way they coded it was a little bit different. So we'll try that and we'll see. So I'm going to go back up to edit here. And once again, I'm going to go to code. I'm going to select it all and delete and paste the new code. And we'll see if it worked. Ah, that's much better. Now it's not perfect. And so I probably still would go back and forth a few times. But for now, it's good. Okay. Now you'll notice these are supposed to be links. And they may or may not link correctly. And these are all links, which I'm not sure where they go to. Right here, I can check this and I can say link options. And I can change this to where I want to link to. It just has a dummy link in right here because it didn't know where to link it to. Okay, so I'm just going to show you on, did it put parent for parents here? So I created a module for parents. And so if I'm going to open this in a new window to make it easier. So if I come over here to modules, we have this parent information. And the way this works here is I'm going to actually click here on that. And I'm going to copy this URL up here, come back here, and I'm going to change that to that URL, right? And go done. It's really important because the AI is going to put in dummy links everywhere. These aren't going to be real links, and they're going to have errors if you do them. It looks like here they didn't put in links at all. So I'm going to add a link here. And if I do it this way, I can do a course link. And I added a module for reading right here, so I can link it to that module. The other way is to actually go into this code here and to look through and find wherever they have URLs like this and making sure they're right. You can use AI to help you and say, I need to fix the URLs. Can you give me a list of URLs you need to make it correctly, and I'll give you the links. So this way, it would tell me I need a link for the home page. Sorry, not the home page, but for parents, for reading. And I could come over here and get all of the links and come back and give it to Gemini. And then, okay, so these are all the things. So then I could give it, okay, so reading goes to whatever. I think I just copied it. This one, right? Or that's parent information, whatever. And I could give it all of the links and then it would update my code that way instead of me doing it manually. But of course, we still have to check. All right. So then I'm saving this and that's what you do. It's really important that you use your human brain time. So you work on the ideas and you don't just jump into it and leave it how it is. You really want to refine it. And then it does take going back and forth quite a bit. It's likely that in a few months even that it will do better. But for now, that's how you do it. I can do the same thing for pretty much any elements in Canvas. So for example, if I want to do the parent information page, I can come back here and I did this a minute ago and I said, okay, help me make a parent info page in the same style. Now I didn't give it much information, so this is what it created. This is a pretty generic thing, but for now, we're going to go with it so I can show you how to do it. Again, we have a link we're going to have to change, but let's go to the code and copy this and come back over. Now, when I go to pages like this, it's going to come to my home page. So you're going to go to view all pages and come to, you can add a page or parent information page here. And then I'm going to go to edit and we're going to see how it does with this one. Do code and paste and then click that again to preview. Okay, it did a lot better with that one because it's a little more simple. Now I have to go through and I have to change these, right? And I'm just going to remove link. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. I don't want to do that. Link options. I'm going to need to change this link, right? I'm going to need to make sure that I change all the links that they're correct. But I'm going to go ahead and save and publish for now. Now, you can do the exact same thing. Say that you use this and you said, I want to create an introduction assignment. Now, normally I would go back and forth to have it help me think of some ideas for that assignment. students, but for now, we'll create a picture of themselves and share. Make an assignment page for this activity. Okay. Now, like I said, normally I would go back and forth and think through this a little bit more so it wasn't just a generic thing. But for our purposes, let's see what it gives us. Okay, this is what it gave me. Okay, and again, we've got some generic links here. But, oh, it says go to class discussion. I can make this as a discussion, or I could change this. I could change it in the AI, or I could go ahead and import it first and then change it. So if it's an assignment, I'm just going to come over here and go to assignments, and I'm just going to add an assignment and say introductions, right? And then I'm just going to paste it here. And that way, oh, whoops, I got to go to the code first. Go to the code and then paste it here. And then I have to fix some details. So I would need to change this link and some links, and I need to choose how I want them to submit. But then if I click save and publish, okay, text entry, fine. Or I could choose to submit on paper right there. And I'm going to save and publish. And then when my students come to this, if I go to view a student, this is what they get. Now, it didn't transfer the background color, so that's something I could work at. But that way, it's a lot nicer and looks better for the students. So I hope that's helpful.